Good morning, everybody. It's been a while since I've come on live. I know we did that party on October 15th for our gratitude day for one another. But that wasn't live, because I pre-recorded it and just looped the video for everybody to, kind of come to like a water cooler to come together and chat with one another. So, anyways, I wanted to first of all say thank you to all of the new subscribers who have jumped on over here. Welcome. I hope that you find things that interest you here. I cover a wide variety of topics, as you well know. Not everything is for everyone, but there is something for just about everyone. So I hope that that you're enjoying that. Today we're going to talk about spiritual warfare, NPCs, and some of the Gnosis that comes along with that. I've set something up and I'm going to try it this time and see how you guys like it. Where this will be like a little bit of background music, and you let me know if it's too loud, if it's drowning me out, while I come over to the view page to see who all is here. And welcome everybody. So let's... that's not what I wanted to do. See, I'm rusty. You take a little bit of time off and, got to relearn everything all over again. So anyways, there's been a lot going on. I've been working on a lot of content and really diving deep into putting out a lot of information on. There's so many different theories that I'm diving into. Realized I'm not married to any of them. I find synchronicities in each of them. So far, I've done the simulation theory and I've done the holographic theory. We've got many more to dive into, and they're very interesting when we really look into them. Some of the science behind what's going on is pretty interesting. Now, we've been going through a period of where this term NPC has been getting tossed around quite a bit. But as I said in my video, this really is not a new term. That would be somebody who is in the somatic. When you're looking at Gnostic texts or Gnostic writings, which is secret knowledge, for those who don't know what Gnostic means, it is secret knowledge. Somebody who is in the somatic, they're pretty much when Christ walked the earth and he said, "Let the dead bury the dead." They are more of a fleshly based person. They have not even gotten any kind of inkling of their spiritual nature, and you would look at them as untapped resources, hive mind type people. When Christ talked about the broad path to destruction, well, that would be the broad path where everybody is like thinking they need to think and act one certain specific way in order, to go to heaven, so to speak, and not claiming their individual sovereignness and claiming their abilities, their gifts that are theirs within them, and tapping into that well of just abundance that is within us. Well, they would be an NPC. They're like dead men walking. They're empty vessels because they have not opened themselves up to what is going on within them yet. We're going to touch on a little bit on spiritual warfare also. As these new energies are coming in, a lot of people are just pretty much losing it. But what I've noticed is people that have come out of the somatic realm and are in the psychic realm, which means you're becoming self-aware. You haven't quite met with the pneumatics yet, but you're in the psychic realm. You are becoming self-aware. You're realizing the abilities that are within you, and you're beginning to apply them into your life. Now, when you hit into the psychic realm, or the psyche realm, like I said, you're just stepping out of the NPC or the somatic realm, where you're into groupthink, hive mind, trying to fit in, keeping up with the Joneses, and you really just don't want to stand out, even when you're in the psychic realm, because you're really unsure of what the heck is going on. Now, when I did that post on NPCs and we went through these 3 stages that are actually in the Gnostic texts, again, Gnostic is secret teachings, there was 2 ways of going about this kind of teaching. One would be like just an overflow happens to you all at once. I would have to put myself into that regard. It was such an outpouring that I thought I was losing my mind. And it took a very, very long time for me to get solid footing, because I went straight from somatic almost to pneumatic, but I was in the psychic realm, the middle ground, because of my uncertainty. Other people, they gradually go through this process, and as they're gradually going through this process, they take a little more time. It doesn't like downpour into them. Like what I called a Holy Spirit baptism was like a complete pouring down in me. I felt like I was lifting off the ground. There's no other way that I can explain it. I spoke in a different language. Things were going on. That's how it happened for me. And when we were looking into that information, there's that friend. My husband's out here with me. Anyways, so it was such an outpouring on me that, the world was flipped upside down and inverted. Well, because the world is upside down and inverted. Everything that we thought we knew was backwards. We think that the outside world affects us. It does not. Okay. And we've already been through all this stuff. I know that I'm not talking to, if you're here, more than likely you're not somatic. If you're here to attack, more than likely you are still somatic, but at least you're sticking your toe into the water to try to see if there is more to this. I also want to talk about cheat sheets, in the game of life, because something that's been on my mind for a while now, actually, it's trying to smack our friend. Okay. Something that's been on my mind for a while is that this is a school and we're here to learn, which, actually is pretty much true. We're here to learn, expand, grow, experience. We're not left here without tools. We have the tools, we have the capabilities and abilities within us. And it's just a matter of learning how to access them. And sometimes you'll come across teachers. And I was talking to my husband earlier. Maybe that's what the part is that I'm playing, or the role that I'm playing at this time. I am not a leader. I am not above anybody else. But with my experience and the things that I've been through, I may be able to teach, or through my experience, show the wisdom and help somebody get through a difficult time so they can move along. Now, in the Gnostics, they believe there was the 3 stages: somatic, psychic, and then pneumatic. I think a lot of times we try to put more on it than what there actually is. Once you're functioning in the pneumatics, you have an understanding. And I don't know many of us that don't have an understanding that we are much more than just this avatar. So, once you have been firmly rooted into understanding that you are much more than what this avatar is, and that you have gifts and tools and abilities within you, you need to start applying them in your life. Not just to benefit yourself, but to benefit other people also. Now, if somebody comes up and just starts attacking you without cause, we have the ability. Think about Enoch. We've got a strong Christian undertone here in the United States. Now, the book of Enoch was not allowed into the Bible, but if we think about Enoch and the things that we were allowed to know about, that there were people or entities or beings that would ask him to intercede, so therefore he had the ability to go up to the higher courts and plead a case for somebody. Think of that as what you're doing when you are in prayer, and you've got the gift of what's listed in the Bible as tongues. Other people call it light language. It is a language that we are not familiar with, but what we do is when it happens is you let go, you get your monkey mind out of the way, and it flows. And I felt the other day like that's where I was, that I was in some kind of a higher courtroom pleading a case, and then because I had exactly what I was describing to you guys. It was an acute piercing into like where my third eye is, which is what I would call a psychic attack. Now, I'm of the mindset that a lot of people, as they're learning their capabilities, they really do not know the power that lies behind them. Well, when I was in this position and I was pleading the case, I was asking for mercy. But what happens is it's like a return to sender, but it doesn't go back to the sender just as they sent it. It will come back 3, 7, or 10 times. That's where we get the sayings about karma. So when we are, doing things from our heart in the betterment of all mankind, no matter if they're somatic, psychic, or pneumatic, then we are acting in the higher universal law. Treat others as you want to be treated. But there are times, and that's why we are given these gifts, these abilities, these weapons of warfare. We're told to put on our full armor. There's reasons that this kind of verbiage is used, because not every person that you come across has the best of intentions for you. That's where the gift of discernment comes in. So somebody could be love bombing you completely, and I fell for this trap many times. I've learned this lesson. How I talked about you go round and around and around. But each time you see it from a different vantage point, a different perspective. But they'll love bomb you and lure you in. And then every once in a while I like to throw up that cult video, because that's cult type personality. They will lure you in with love bombing you and then pull things away to make you feel inadequate. It's a way of throwing you off balance. Now, if somebody's trying to throw you off balance, or to try to tell you that the way that you're going, the narrow path, the experiences that you're having are incorrect and that their way is the only way, my advice is to withdraw and go further within yourself. Get to know yourself first. Get your house in order, and all else will follow. See, and let's get into some of the... Oh, can you guys hear the music in the background? There's 10 people in here. There's only 2 people that have made a comment. You guys are really listening, or the music is drowning me out and you can't hear me. Can you hear the music? Can you hear the music? Well, oh yes, you can hear the music. Is it drowning me out? Do you like it? Is it nice? I'm always trying to fiddle around and try and make things just a little bit nicer and better for you guys. I can turn it off if it's annoying. Or if it's too loud, I can turn it down. So just let me know. Okay. Cheat codes. All right. A lot of the things that we're told, don't touch, don't look at, don't do, a lot of times can be cheat codes to help you get to the pneumatic state. Tools, things that you can use. Okay, my voice is louder than the music. Great. Is the music loud though? I don't want it loud. I try to turn it down as much as I could. Okay, some of the cheat codes that are available, some people may use what is called DMT or ayahuasca, and they'll go on a spiritual journey where they will see things and hear things and get this profound understanding of who and what they are through this experience. Other people will use crystals. I was gifted these wonderful bracelets and this crystal that is resting here on my heart from Liera. Now, those, when you're picking up the stones at different places, you are picking up your codes. You are, and we're calling them codes because they're cheat codes to get us, like I said, to the pneumatic state. Whatever way benefits you to become self-aware and be prepared for whatever comes your way, I say go for it. I'm going to be looking into, and even beyond quantum healing, I'm going to be looking into doing a session of, because I'm going to try all of these things, and I'm going to, hopefully, if they'll allow me to, record them so that way I can show you guys and share with you as I go through all of these different, what I call cheat codes, and see how much it enhances what I already have. And what new and exciting information it brings forth. I'm going to be the brave one to try all this stuff out. Love bombing has been misinterpreted. It's more like one who say love bomb. He really is not deceiving himself. He is giving love bombs. No. I'm not talking about that kind of, I'm not talking about unconditional love. I'm not talking about the state of being in a love-centered base. I'm talking about using love bombing for manipulation. Where, okay, I'll go by an example of an experience my husband and I had. When all this really ramped up for us, I was continuously praying for the proper church to go to that would, with all of these gifts and abilities that opened up with me, I was having prophetic dreams, I was having visions, I was astro jumping, I was praying in heavenly languages, my hands were heating up, healing, the amazing healing that my body's going through. All of these amazing things were opened up, like simultaneously. So we were looking for a church or somewhere to get a better understanding of what was going on. Well, we went to what is called a Seventh-day Adventist church. When we went there, they assigned a couple to us. Actually, we went there 2 times. The first time we managed to slink in, okay, undetected, and checked it out. We were very, questioning on what was going on there. They would we just got done listening to a sermon on, adultery and things like that, and jealousy and coveting. And then we were out in the congregation, and that's all they were doing was gossiping about each other, lusting after each other. We were like, what the heck is going on? So on the second time that we went back and visited that, we were assigned a couple. And this couple was to love bomb us. They were to see to all of our needs, make sure we were completely comfortable, make sure that, everything was just right. Everything from that church was perfectly displayed in the light that they wanted us to see it in, while showing us so much adoration and care and love. And actually they found out that we had been there the time before, and they told on themselves by saying, somebody should have been assigned to you the first time you walked in the doors. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where people are, they vulture in and will love bomb and try to paint a picture of a situation that is untrue. They want you to see it through a light, through a lens that they are painting out for you to see it. And if you start to question that, then they start to remove privileges. They'll public shame you. They will, especially with the gifts and everything that I was operating in. I believe that church believed that all the gifts died with the apostles. Am I right? All the gifts died with the apostles. So there's no possible way that could be even happening. So, and I'm not against religion. I think religion has its place. I think there's a lot of wonderful, great people and we are all positioned and placed in our places for a reason, for a purpose. But I just wanted to share, that's what I am talking about. The instant, we accept you as you are, we love you, and then all of a sudden they flip the script. They start putting the rules and the regulations. We don't eat meat, we don't do this, we don't do that, we don't do this, we don't do that. But like I said, the first visit we were there, everything they said they didn't do when we were listening to the congregation, they did it all. So there it is there. We were fix that, please. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, and then where were we? Oh, cheat codes. And let's see. Okay. Oh, care packages. We could also, which is what I think happened to me and why it came in so hot and heavy. That, if I'm still, somatically roaming around, that a care package would be dumped on me all at once to wake my butt up. To get into the psychic realm. And when we're in the psychic realm, we'll notice that we are the empathy will break open in us. We'll start feeling other people around us. We'll realize the oneness that we all are. We'll feel other people's pain. We will lose the judgments on one another, because we'll realize, how can we have a judgment on somebody when we don't know everything that person has been through? That's why this is such a narrow path that we are all on. Each of us have different experiences and different programming that is stuck between our ears through the hive mind somatic period in our life, or the NPC part of our life. So as we're going through the psychic, the second part of the Gnostic way of determining this, we are having all of those things removed from us, so that way we can then operate in the pneumatic, where we're many of us realize this place is pliable, that this place is changeable. Like I said, I'm going through the theories, and I'm completely enjoying it. I've done simulation, and I've done holographic just here the other day, and I'm going to do the multiple earth and the shifting realities. There's so many I'm going to do. Oh my gosh. And each of them seem to have their truth in them. So I can't sit there and say that I agree 100% with one of them. I can say that I agree with large parts of all of them. It's absolutely amazing. We're learning also how to instant manifest. Now, I think that's why we go from somatic to psychic to pneumatic. There are phases that we go through, just like in any game. Any game would have cheat codes too. My son informed me of that. So, as we're going through this refinement, we get our abilities become stronger, more online, more pointed, more focused, and we have the abilities, and we are then able to share them out on a wider scale and, improve this place, not just for ourselves. I've noticed from just about everybody who's going through this kind of a process, the new heart that we get, it's not a selfish heart. We also don't see that we're in competition. I love it when somebody else opens up a channel and starts talking about their experiences. You know how wonderful it'll be when everybody is pulling themselves out of the somatic, the NPC role, and this is common knowledge, and that, to be an NPC or somebody that is highly programmed would be the unusual, rather than being in the pneumatic state being the unusual. Because there's more of us that are operating in pneumatic, but we are thinking that we're still in the psychic. And therefore, we're constantly questioning ourselves and doubting ourselves on our abilities and gifts, therefore holding back and not operating in them fully. Well, if you feel an attack coming upon you and you are able to, you have the intuition, you have the abilities within you, well, then it's your job, because you've got the tools in you to defend yourself. You have that sovereign authority within you. Christ gave that to you. If we're coming from a Christian standpoint, Christ said himself, when you see him, we will be like him. Have you seen him yet? Are you still waiting to see him? Are you waiting for him to bust through the clouds, or have you seen him? These are simple questions to answer, because once you've seen him, you're going to know it. It's not going to be a questioning, and it's not going to be a doubting. And he also, those who he sets free are free indeed. Oh my goodness. The freedom and the liberty that we have is beyond measure. We're absolutely limitless. The potential that is within each and every single person, whether it's somatic, psychic, or pneumatic. Oh my gosh. At least the pneumatics are aware of the unlimited potential in other people. Do you want to know if you are starting to operate from a pneumatic realm? There's a few things that we could look at here where, we can touch on that if you guys are interested. Let's see what you guys have to say. There's 13 of you guys in here. And I just did spontaneous. I didn't post it anywhere. And I haven't been live in a while. But hey. So is anybody interested in touching more on that? Let's see what Ascending to Beings has been saying. Blue Dragon. Oh, it's Ascending to. Oh, you changed your name with Blue Dragon behind it. Nice. Okay, some can understand he is giving a love bomb. Oh, you're still on love bombing. Okay, we're past that. Okay. I was a seventh day for more than 12 years. Okay, no offense taken. I know exactly. Yeah. So, we were testing out the different churches to try and see if there was a fit, and we didn't fit. It was, like putting a square peg in a round hole. We did not fit in any of those, categories of constructs. And that's one thing we'll find out. We stop fitting in with the crowd. And what we do is we start to find people who are sharing experiences, and that's where we will start to glean from. We will start wanting to share what's going on with us with other people, and they will want to share with us what's going on with them, and we'll grow more from that rather than sitting in a pew with one person behind a pulpit. You're interested listening while cooking. Well, if you're interested, you're probably already got one foot into the pneumatic. I think that was what I was gonna talk about, was how do you know if you're pneumatic? Okay, here's some signs that you are beginning to operate from the pneumatic. You start to look at people's unlimited potential. You love everyone, and you realize that it's from lack of knowledge, a lot of the things that they do. And you realize that if they would just, and you really want to almost like shake them awake, saying, oh my gosh, do you even know how wonderful and beautifully you are? Excuse me. That is one way of being able to tell if you are in the pneumatic stage of your walk. Now, they only listed the 3. And then when we get to that stage, we need to start applying it into our lives. Some of us make ourselves downright sick because we're in the pneumatic, but we're not, we're doubting ourselves and not operating in the very gifts and abilities that we have. We doubt ourselves, we question ourselves, and therefore our own abilities end up getting used against us. So oh, hey Josie. So, okay, let me say hi to everyone. And I love saying this name. Hello, Bella Lacron. Ascending to Beings, the Kryptonian, and Jose. Jose, oh, I got hers standing up on my head when I said your name. You're such a sweetheart. Such a sweetheart. And like I said, I haven't been live in a while. And yeah, if you allow your consciousness to evolve, it will open up perception. I'm able to now see different species of beings on Earth. Took me a while to accept, but now I enjoy knowing. Really? What species have you seen on walking amongst the Earth? Are they in humanoid form, but you're actually able to see their true form? Or are they species that are interdimensionals that your eyes have opened up and you're able to now see past that veil? Can you be a little more specific on that, Ascending? No, you are, Josie. No, Jose. I always, you know why I say Josie? I'm always thinking of Josie and the Pussycats. The cartoon. Uncloaking. Okay, so you are seeing, okay, then uncloaking still could be taken either way. So it is beings that you're actually seeing their true form that have taken on a humanoid figure. Okay, I got it right then. Yay. Okay. Well, there are also beings that are appearing. We're catching them. Well, at least I'm catching them like out of the corner of my eye, and then when I look, they're gone. That are, it's kind of a weird thing. You know, do you ever have that feeling like you're not alone? You're alone, but you're being watched. Well, I have to tell you, friends, you're being watched. Hi, Jane. How are you? Yeah. Well, and I do recommend, just in case something happens with the live stream. She said, that's how I am. I have love for everyone, even the ones that hurt me. But I doubt my gifts all the time. And see, that is problematic for us. When we doubt our gifts, we almost turn inwardly and begin attacking ourselves with our own gifts, with our own doubt. So, and that seems, pretty standard when the world is shouting us down and, all of these things are going on. But like I said, over the past few years, there's been a huge unveiling, and we're dealing with some pretty powerful energies right now. Now, not all of us are affected by these energies as other people are. And I would call them like a cleansing energy. Maybe sometimes people need to be sat down for a little while so they can listen and start operating in their true potential. There's different reasons for different things. But I do think, like I said, the cheat codes. I think if you read cards, if you love your crystals, if you use ayahuasca and DMT, if you use the beyond quantum healing, if you use hypnosis, meditation, I think these are ways of us getting more clarity on what is going on within us. A gamer would call them cheat codes, and I do think they do not cause us any harm, as long as what you're doing doesn't cause you or anyone else around you harm. I say go for it. Your inner guidance, your inner compass, that's part what we need to be learning to follow, is what is going on within us. And like I said, when you and this one is on spiritual warfare too, when you will know the difference between whether it's a doubt from yourself and it's just manifesting, or if it's energies coming in and people are calling it ascension flu, and you're adjusting to the new frequencies and things like that, to an actual pointed attack from somebody that is using their abilities against you. You will feel it. It comes on very acutely, and when it comes on that acutely, you take it. You take your gifts, you use your gifts, and it will go away just as fast as it came on. I mean, instantly, it was gone. That fast. And it was like, bam, right between my eyes. I mean, it felt like I used to suffer migraine headaches when before I had my hysterectomy. And I'll tell you what, I don't wish migraine headaches on anybody, but it feels like almost like an attack right to your third eye, like right to your pineal gland, right between the eyes. That's what the attack was, that felt like that was against me. Like I said, I went into prayer, I used some tools in my toolbox, and it went away instantly. When I started to doubt what was going to happen to the sender, it started to come back a little bit, like I was giving it permission to attack me again. And then I pushed it out. I said, nope, I can't worry about that. If somebody brings something on themselves, they bring it on themselves. You going to get you a coffee? Get me one too, please. I make Malco lattes. I put hot chocolate, and then instead of hot water, I put coffee, and then I put marshmallows and a little bit of Cool Whip because I like it super duper sweet. Okay, so did that help answer the question on somatic, psychic, and pneumatic? And I think that there's many of us walking in the pneumatic that are still thinking that we're in the psychic. We are expanding daily. We grow daily. We get new understandings daily. We get clarity on these gifts daily. That is not what I'm talking about. The Gnosis will continue. The wisdom will continue. We're unlimited. Okay? But what I'm saying is there's those 3 stages. And then we need to start operating in the pneumatic stage and applying it to our lives. And therefore, we can change this place overnight. I know we can change this place overnight as soon as this becomes common knowledge with people and they start just talking about it. And then again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but just by people opening up a channel and talking about these things, giving people a platform to, or a venue or an area to come in and talk to each other is beautiful. It's absolutely wonderful for everybody to be able to come in and hear what's going on with somebody else. And the more people that are talking about it, the better, because then we'll take over. I mean, not take over like a hostile takeover, but take over in a sense where we're no longer operating in the realm of a bunch of NPCs hive mind. I'm showing only 8 people in here. Did we lose them? Am I that boring, you guys? Oh my gosh. I'm waiting for an answer. Are there moments when the universe rules of love and trespasses in the universe? The universal law is what I live by, ascending, or lads. I live by universal law. Treat others as I want to be treated. You know, I love everyone. I may not like everyone all the time, but I do love everyone. And that is true. So, you know, and I also want to be very careful about how I impact other people. And I think a lot of us, when we're going through these stages, that is one of our main concerns, is how are my gifts going to impact? Like, you know, let's talk about the flood story just for a moment. The flood story. What if, and this is complete speculation, what if the flood came about from one person knowing their gifts and abilities, throwing a temper tantrum, and they flooded out and killed everybody? Something to think about, which could explain why we made it a little more difficult to, you know, come in here and learn and gain the, you know, the gifts and the abilities, and why we are probably the ones who set it up where we go through this refinement process, and so that you're not so powerful that you will destroy the world. Think about it. I mean, just food for thought. I've been looking into also I started with the Sumerian texts, and I'm going to be going along in bite-sized pieces on, you know, how they started in Sumeria and went into Egypt and then went into Greek and then over into Rome. So that way, as we move along with that story, all the names of all the different characters that have changed in the different time periods, who they are, so we can, you know, tie that together with a nice little bow. Good morning, Overprotected. Good morning, Dead GPK. How long have I been on? 43 minutes already. Wow, time flies. And anyone I missed. But what do you guys think about that? I mean, these are things that go through my mind. You know, if one person was given, you know, was completely back whole with all of their gifts and abilities, and they got ticked off, and they weren't heart-centered, they got ticked off, could they destroy this whole place? Think about these things, because the gifts and abilities that we have and that we're gaining mastery over, that are growing and building in us, like I said, as we're going up that ladder, we're seeing it from a different perspective. They're becoming stronger, more powerful. The farther we seek inward to get the answers, the more strength that we have and the more say-so that we have on what's going on around us. So it's just, something to think about. One temper tantrum and the whole world was flooded. Did Noah cause that flood? Did it take him a while to manifest it while he was building his boat? But did he get so angry with the way that people were behaving that he destroyed the place? Food for thought. Just something to think about. Hey Simba, how are you? I think I pretty much, we'll do a shout out to everybody here. Say hello. And we've got Bella Lacron. I love saying that name. Ascending to Beings, Blue Dragon. The Kryptonian, who, by the way, has got his channel and he's been doing live streams, so make sure you check him out. Jose, who has wonderful Lightworker hangouts. Jane, who's a beautiful soul. Dead GPK, who's my right-hand man. Overprotected. Did I miss anybody? And Simba. I love everybody. I love everybody so much. But I do think it is important for us to know, these terms and these Gnostic terms, and also to know that NPC is not a new term. It's not new. Christ said, let the dead bury the dead. What do you think he was talking about? Empty vessels, wheat and tares, the separation. There is a separation, but that doesn't mean that it has to be a permanent separation. When he talked about the rich man and the poor man, and there was a great gulf between them. Well, why do you think that is? The gulf that was between them. It's a lack of understanding. It's a lack of gnosis. All of these things are parables. We are to understand these parables. We're to discern the parables. We're to understand who and what we all are. We are all, and each of us are needed. Each of us are so valuable to the equation, to each other, that there's no price tag that you could put on any of these gifts. They are all beyond anything monetary that you could put on them. These abilities that we have, the way we can enhance each other's lives, and how this is meant to draw us in together and bring us more into a oneness, not fractal us all out. We've been fractaled out. We've been separated, been to all different categories, and whether it be politics and religion, or I'm a white collar worker, I'm a blue collar worker, I'm a fast food burger flipper. I mean, we categorize people by earning brackets, you name it. We're categorized, and enough. We're seeing beyond the veil on that for sure, and seeing it doesn't matter what you do. What matters is who you are. You are so much more than the job you do. Oh my gosh, it's just absolutely, it's an amazing time to be alive. It's really exciting, but at the same time can be really super frustrating. As people are, I don't know. Some people get their heels dug in so hard that they are not movable. And when you become to the point where you're not movable, then, it's like, oh, why? Why are you doing that to yourself? You're building your own cage, your own walls around you. And I'm a wall kicker. I'm going to kick the walls down. I want to expand and experience, and I want to get to know everybody and what they're experiencing. And I love synchronicities. So much going on. But we did touch on spiritual warfare, guys. That was towards the beginning, so you'll have to rewatch that if you want to hear about the testimony on that and what we need to do. But one thing we need to realize is We cannot feel bad for those people who are attacking you without cause. They're doing it, they're knowingly doing it, and when they're knowingly doing something to harm somebody else, well, then they should be ready to take the consequences for their actions. And that is universal law. Don't do anything to anyone unless you're ready to take the consequences for your actions. So, and that, and as you come out of the somatic, you go into the psychic and into the pneumatic, you are able to work in the etheric realm. In the etheric realm, you get things done, boom, like that. And then all they can do is in the 3D realm, is play these little head games in the 3D realm. Don't let it get to you. Don't worry about them. They will eventually go away. All you have to do is starve them out. Don't feed them. Don't feed the trolls. Oh, you're at work? Okay. Well, thank you for popping in. I'm about done anyways. Oh, I listened to your Beyond Quantum Healing session, Overprotected. Amazing. I loved it. There's nothing for you to be ashamed of there or anything. My gosh, that was such a beautiful thing for for you to share, to experience, and to learn about yourself. I mean, that, if anything, right there should have given you so much confirmation that you are operating in the pneumatic realm, and to just do it. Just do it. All right, guys. Oh, let's see. We got just a few minutes left. I do too. I've known her for years. She is a doll. Yes, she's a very, very sweet lady. Be careful, you'll get attached. Does anybody have any questions about NPCs or the holographic universe? As for the YouTube disclosure, that's going to be done on Dark Wolf's Den's channel, so please subscribe over there. So when we do the live stream to finish that out, I'm just ready to put all that behind me and move forward, because I know we're much more than the matter around us, but we as people, we have to deal with people. Our adversaries are people. Believe it or not, it's not the matter, and we project out around us. Like, when I look in my skies, the beautiful skies, where I used to see chemtrails, we do reflect out and around us what's going on, and that's a beautiful understanding in itself. The only problem that we have is other people. They're doing the same. So if your neighbor's having a bad day and you're having a fabulous day, if you have to share space with them, like come into a face-to-face encounter, you may have a blending of those morphogenic fields, and therefore you're going to see, you may see some things in the skies that are coming from the neighbor who's having a bad day, and then he may or she may see something in the skies that looks beautiful because of the encounter that they had with you. People are, the issue here. The lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding. And when we're constantly telling people, don't look at this, don't touch that, don't, how is anybody ever going to learn and get a good understanding of who they truly are and what we're here to do and to move forward? We've got to remove the programming. And I have to say, with the heavy overlays of programming, there is also so many hints around us to wake up. So everything is done in balance. If there's heavy programming that can make people suggestible, or, and people feel like, oh, you watch TV for too long, you're hypnotized, and well, I have to tell you, there's also things on cartoons, TVs, and in comic books that wake you up. So with everything, it has to be done in balance. That's universal law. We have to have a fighting chance here. The game was on tilt, but it feels like it's being corrected. So we always have a choice, and we want to make the choice that's going to, personally, I want to make the choice that's going to make this place a better place, where everybody's operating in their very abilities and gifts, and to love one another instead of hive mind, crowd strike, attack and threaten. I'm jealous, I'm this, I'm that. I want to take competition out of the way and realize it's not a competition, it's just a knowing. And I want everybody to have this very knowing within them. So if there's anything that I can do about it to help with people getting this knowing within them, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it 110%, because it's that important to me. And I feel it is that important that everybody know this about themselves. It's not like, ooh, I've got this information, I know all of this, and I'm keeping it all to myself. I don't have that feeling inside of me at all. It's like, oh my gosh, if people only knew how wonderful, and with this information, and to try to present it in a way that where people can understand how wonderful that they are. Because I truly believe in my heart of hearts, the more of us that know, the faster that this place will not just reflect around us, but will reflect around the whole world. So if we could get to that 51 percentile, the 49% will benefit from it. That's how I look at it. You husband? Are you asking Jane where Tarzan is? Oh, hang on. I thought you were teasing my husband. Okay, hang on. Okay. These people okay. Yeah. That's right, Jane. Those people, they will be just hurting themselves, and trouble. So they can't talk to you about it. Okay, that's to Jane. I won't read that out loud. You husband. Oh, yeah. Silent J's my husband.
No, that's attached to the comment above.
Oh, it is. She's talking to Jane. Okay. Well, you got a response from my husband. How about that, Sherry? And we got sour cream and communism. What a name. Hi. No, that's not true. You have no inner voice, so I am doomed to be an NPC. That's not true. Look more into some of the other content that I put out. I really do not feel that there's anybody that is doomed. Unless you were made in a factory and you are complete AI. If you were born, no, I really don't feel that way about people. It's just a matter of knowing. If you can critically think, obviously you've got critical thought. If you're wondering if you're an NPC or saying you have no inner voice, well, where did you come up with the information to just type down that you have no inner voice? You think you're an NPC. Because you didn't hear that here. I didn't say that. So that's an inner voice telling you to type something down. Just saying. Mr. Lila. Are these some of my new subscribers? Welcome. Welcome. Overprotected is just rolling. I do recommend that you guys watch her session. I'm just gonna start calling her Mrs. Jackson. Inside joke, okay, Sherry? Don't get hurt. By the way, in the beginning when you were talking about that, we really couldn't understand you very well because where the microphone was. So if that was the part that you were worried about, we couldn't hear it anyways. All right, you guys. I thoroughly enjoyed this live stream. I appreciate you all for coming. If you missed the spiritual warfare or any of the other information, just replay it. I keep them nice, short, sweet, and to the point. I love you guys all so very much. I want you all to have a wonderful, beautiful day. And I need to do this first. Hold on, you're stuck with me for a minute. Say goodbye to my background music.